Today I've got a classic. This is Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rhoads, but I'm going to show you the live version instead of the studio recorded version. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. First off, I want to tell you that this whole song is in F sharp minor, or A major, which is the relative key for that. So the keys the chords that we're going to be using the most are A, F sharp, G sharp, and some variations on the F sharp minor and G sharp minor, which are here, and the D and the E. That's, I believe, all the chords that are used in this song, and he just uses them in various ways. All right, to start the song, he plays the bridge section, and I'll show you that real quick here. The first three chords that we're going to use are F sharp, which is here on the 9th fret of the A string, and the A, and the E. Okay, so he hits this twice, slides down to the A, then he hits a G sharp, 4th fret, and then F sharp, 2nd fret, to an E. So F sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. Then he hits the G sharp again and pulls off to an E again. And back up to the F sharp. Then to a D on the 5th fret here, and an E on the 7th fret. So I'll play through the whole thing there for you slowly. Then he goes here to the 12th fret on the B string, bends it up a whole step, and then hits the 12th fret here with your pinky finger on the E string. So sound both of those notes. Then he goes to the D string here, or G string here, and he plays 3rd string. He plays on the 11th fret here, he gets an artificial harmonic. And to do that, if you don't know how to do that, you hold your pick really close to your thumb, the outside edge of your thumb here, and you kind of hit them right after one after the other, very, very closely, almost simultaneously if you can. But by hitting instead of just the pick, you'll get an artificial harmonic. So he hits that artificial harmonic there, 3rd string, 11th fret, and he bends it at the same time. Okay, then he goes to the same string, 3rd string, 4th fret, and he bends that up. And he uses a little toggle trick here that he loves. You turn your bridge pickup on full blast, you turn your neck pickup off all the way. My controls are reversed, so this on all the way is bridge, neck is off, and then he toggles between it. So he hits the note, then he hits an open A, and he bends the neck. Then he slides down the neck and goes into the Crazy Train riff, the main riff, which I'll show you next. But I'm going to play through this whole thing now, the whole intro, for you all together, so you can see how it goes before we get into that riff. So. Okay, so that's the whole intro. Then he goes into the main Crazy Train riff. Okay, so that's right here in the F sharp position, played in F sharp minor scale, F sharp minor. So you're pedaling off that F sharp on the second fret right here on the low E string the whole time. Sorry. Except for that last note is an open E. So I'll show that to you slowly. And the only notes that you're not muting are anything on the A string. And you'll kind of accent those to go with the drums. So up except for that low E string, you can lift your hand off the string there. So just keep your palm on that low E string as you're playing this riff to get that muted F sharp note. So it's 2 of the F sharp, and then up to the 4th fret on the A string, back to the F sharp again, to the 5th fret on the A string, back to the F sharp, and back to that 4th fret again. So I'll play it slow. Then he switches to the A string with the first finger on that 2nd fret and plays the 5 and the 4 on the E string here. So it's kind of down, up, down. So to that low E string. So put those 2 together and you got keep practicing that and you'll get it up to the speed. It's easy to play this riff too fast once you get to know it really well. So take your time and play to the drums. So he plays through it 3 full times all the way through that riff, and then the 4th time he plays half of that riff, which is the, and then he goes to a D and an E. Then we go into the next rhythm chord progression, which is the verse. And he plays through it once, plays a little lick, and then you go into Ozzy singing. So I'll show you the whole rhythm figure, and that starts here on an A. So this is an A major triad right here. So your 3rd finger goes on the 7th fret here, the D string, that's the 4th string, and 2nd finger goes on the 6th fret right here on the next string down, and the 5th fret for that 1st finger. So it's that's an A major triad. Then he plays this funky chord, which is down 1/2 step. The 3rd finger on the D string is on the 6th fret. The 1st finger on the next string down is on the 4th fret, and that middle finger is on the 5th fret. So it's kind of a triangular shape there. It sounds not so hot, but when you play it with distortion and you play it in the chord progression, it sounds good. And then you just slide that down 2 frets. So now you've got 4, 2, and 3. So we've got A. This is a G sharp minor flat 6. Don't worry about that, but. And an F sharp minor flat 6. So those are shaped based on the G sharp minor and the F sharp minor. Like I said, we're playing those 3 chords. So you basically got an A, G sharp minor, and an F sharp minor. Just a little variation on that, if you want to think about it in that harmonic terms. So, and then to an A. So those are the 4 chords you'll be using in this chord progression. So he does a lot of pedaling on the A string while he's playing this. Then he hits that F sharp, G sharp again, and back to the A. It's kind of a turnaround. So here's how it goes. Then he plays this little riff here, which is just pull-offs. So it's 4 and 2 and open on all 3 of these strings. So you start on the 3rd string here and you go. Four, 2, open, 4, 2, open, 4, 2, open. And then he hits the A again. So he puts that little accent in there to separate his intro of the chord progression to Ozzy singing. So it's and he alternates between that or you can do any of those variations you want if you want to mix it up a little, make it a little more interesting for yourself, because you're going to be playing this chord progression a lot. So every time you go through a verse, he plays that all the way through 4 times. So it's and then sometimes he does this, which is 6th fret, 3rd string, hits an artificial harmonic and just bends that up 1.5 steps. Okay, so you play that through 4 times, then he goes to a pre-chorus. Slides down, he goes to an F sharp here, but what he does is he plays F sharp, and then he lifts his first finger off that 2nd fret and just plays the 5th note here on both of those strings on the 4th fret with the open E. So it's so slide down and up to a D, and then he hits harmonics here on the 7th fret. He bends the neck like that. You can use a whammy bar if you want. Back to the D again. Then he comes up here and he hits this 16th fret on the A string and bends it up. Then he slides down to an A, and this is the chorus part. F, so that's an A, G sharp to the E. Then he plays a lick. Okay, so let's go through that whole pre-chorus to the chorus thing again. So slide down. That's where he says, I'm going off the rails. Then he plays this lick. This is the first lick. There are 3 different licks he plays here at this moment of the chorus. So You start on the 3rd string and you bend up at the 4th fret. 1 step. Then you go to the 2nd string and the 1st string on the 2nd fret. Okay, so then you're on the 2nd string again on the 5th fret. So it's 5 and 2, and then 4 and 2. That's a fairly common blues riff, rock riff. Then down to the next string, the 3rd string, the 5th fret again, and back to the 2nd fret on that 2nd string. Then we're going to do this again where we pull from the 5th to the 2nd and the 4th to the 2nd. Down to the 4th fret on the next lowest string, on the 4th string, and we pull that off to the 2nd fret twice. Okay, so let's put that all together. Okay. Then we go to the next string, 5th string, and we go 4, 3, 2. And then we hammer on to the 3rd again and pull off again. Then down to the 5th fret on that 6th string. So let's put that all together. Okay. Back to the 2nd, and then we hammer on and pull off twice here, so that's 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to the 5th fret, and we're done. He plays that again. A, G sharp, F sharp, E. So we go. Then F sharp to G sharp. Then he does this again with the F sharp where he lifts that finger off of the 6th string. Then he plays a harmonic here on the 4th fret for those top strings. So he does that twice. So you got to kind of do that and then slide your finger up kind of horizontally across here is the best way to get that sound. Okay. Back to F sharp and G sharp. It's kind of a round. So it's back to F sharp and G sharp, and you kind of give that a little bit of a vibrato. Let's go. And we're back into the verse again. So I'll play through that whole thing for you there. From the pre-chorus through the chorus with all the riff and then back into the verse. Okay, so we came out of the verse, right? back into the verse, okay? So let's go through that one more time because I know that's a lot right there. He's doing a lot of stuff. So out of the verse. Plays that same riff right there before he goes back into the verse every time. Okay, so now we've gotten through all of that. You're going to play through the verse again. You're going to play through that whole section again, which is pre-chorus and chorus. But the second time through, he plays a different riff instead of this one. And I think I showed you, but it's actually, so it's fifth, second, third, second on that second string. Okay, so the second time, after the second verse, this is the riff he plays instead of that one. Starts up here between the 10th and the 13th fret on the second string, and this whole lick happens between the second and the third strings. And there's a little bit of a trick to this to make it a little bit easier to play. The three notes are 13, 10, and 11 on that second string. And if you try to play it like that, and he slides up one fret every time, it's hard to keep your fingers in the right spot as you move all the way up the neck because he plays it pretty fast. So what I found, the easiest way to do it is you pick that 13th fret there with a downstroke and you pull off to the 10th. And instead of hitting that note right there with your second finger, you just slide your first finger up to that note right there because that's your next note. And so that's only two pick strokes, and it's just a pull off and a slide. And then you're already through it. So you just go all the way from the 13th and 10th and 11th. Then it's 14, 11, and 12. 15, 12, and 13. That's 16, 13, and 14. 17, 14, and 15. 18, 15, and 16, then 19 is the last one. So that's 19, 16, and 17. That's where you stop. So it's so I'll go a little bit slower through that. Okay. And then he goes into the bridge. So that was verse, pre-chorus, chorus. verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Now we go back to the bridge, which is the opening rhythm figure that I showed you. And this is where Ozzy's saying, I know that things are going wrong for me. You got to listen to my words. It's right before the solo. Now the solo. So it starts off here on the 7th fret, 2nd string. And he's going to do a hammer-on pull-off from the 10th fret here. But what you're going to do is you're also going to hammer on the 14th fret here, same string. So it's 2 hammer-on and pull-off with your pinky for every 1 hammer-on over here with your finger on the 14th fret. So it's... Then you move up to the 15th fret. You still keep this hand in the same position, still plays the same notes, and you do it up here twice. Okay, so it's... Gotta actually hit the note. I've been missing it. Then he slides up here to the 9th and 12th fret, and he just hammers on and pulls off with his pinky finger here. And then he slides back down where he was before, 7th and 10th fret. Does that, I believe, 4 times. Then he bends up with the 9th fret on that 3rd string. Plays the 10th here while he's bending it. So you bend it up, hit that, and then bend it while that's still playing. So let's play through just that part of the solo. Then he slides up here to the 17th fret, 17 and 14. So this is F sharp here. You also notice this is a F sharp minor pattern here too. That's what he's basing this off of. And then he slides up here. That's also F sharp. So he slides up here between 17 and 14. So it's 17, 16, 14. 17 on the 2nd fret, and he bends that up. Back to the 14 on the E string. So let's put those 2 parts together so far. And he does some hammer-ons and pull-offs here back into the 14th position. So you're pulling off from 17 and 14. So let's start over again. So there again, he likes to do that where you bend that up and hit that higher note up here. Then he hammers on here. So that's 3rd string here between the 14 and 16th fret. Then 14, 17, then 14, 17, all the way up. Then from here, you're going to do some hammer-ons and pull-offs. Then you're going to slide up to the 16th and 19th fret. Then you're going to go up to the 17th and 21st fret. Back down, 16, 19, 14, 17. Then you bend up the 17th fret here, 2nd string, 17th fret on the E string. So let's put that together. So you hammer on here. Okay, so let's put all of those pieces together so far for the solo so you don't forget what we're doing here. So. Then we go back down here to the 3rd string, and it's going to be a 3rd string, 4th string repeating pattern here. We're going to do 14 to 11, 14, 11. It's just 14, 11, 14, 11 on those 2 strings. So you do that 4 times. Then you go up here to the 14th fret on the 4th string. So it's then we go back down here to the 4th string again, and we're going to go all the way up through F sharp again. And that 19th fret on the E string is where you're going to end up. So it's and we go, that's how you end the solo. We go back to the main riff. So let's put that whole solo together. Hopefully I've got everything in there. And then we go back into the main crazy train riff. 3 times through. Just like we played before, and then back into another verse. So. From there, you go through another verse, and this time when you go to the pre-chorus, we've got that 3rd lick that I'm going to show you. It's up here again in the 14th and 17th position. So you bend up on the 17th fret, E string, 14th fret, 17 on the 2nd string, back to 14, 17, 14, 17, 16, 14. Get that? Now here's where he plays that third and final bridge. Now we play the Crazy Train riff one last time. And then he ends on the F sharp. That is Crazy Train, the live version. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments any other songs that you would like to hear. I mainly focus in the metal and rock genres, but let me know what you want to hear and I'll see if I can do it for you. Thanks a lot and thanks for watching.